it's so better leave. I'ma swap it for time and that's take it for me. Move G to be based in 3 days, I'm on 3, I'm gone. Palomino Patron, Cappuccino Patron, Alameda song, stack it up, stack it up.
Welcome back to the pit, ladies and gentlemen. The horn you just heard was the sound of the running of the bulls, because people forget that the bulls are running. And certainly today we are dumping. We're back to the usual Thursday pre-stream dump. I'm your host, Satoshi. With me is a guest that I'm very glad to have back in the pit. Always a missing quantity whenever he's gone. Jedi of the Blockmates. How's it going, Jedi?
Hey, my brother. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It was nice to take some time off and get the headspace back, and it's good to be back. And it's unfortunate that we're dumping because it's been quite an interesting couple of months. I think there's been a bit of money lost and a bit of money won, but I think everyone's generally up, I would hope. And it's a bit unfortunate that we've got a bunch of corporate monkeys dumping their Bitcoin at the moment.
Yeah, dude. So we've... Oh, is this JC?
Hello.
What's up? JC got his Milady V mask.
Yeah, it works. I tried to get it working last time, and it wasn't working.
Dude, that makes my
look. It tracks my eyes and my mouth. Look.
Oh my
So
god,
epic.
That's great, dude. Well, yeah, JC has been panicking all day in the pit, asking if it's over. I don't know, JC. What do you think? Is it over?
Yeah, it's so over that I didn't change any position. I didn't move anything.
That's actually usually the time that it is over, isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't moved much in the past week.
Yeah, me neither. I've kind of just been sitting in it. Although I have been flipping in and out on Drift Protocol. I really am starting to love Drift as a product. I think it's amazing.
So how different is it from GLP?
GLP, like GMX?
Yes.
So let me give you an example here. Let me show Drift.
Tell me what Drift is, because I'm not familiar with it. You're gonna have to give me the TLDR.
Drift is a perp dex on Solana. But let's just jump into it here. I'm going to switch wallets real quick so you can't see my massively underwater positions. And so this is Drift. It's a perp dex, but kind of your entryway into it is, you deposit and you hold your balances within the smart contract. And then, so you obviously can trade perps, but it's whole portfolio margin. So if we go to the overview tab real quick, you can see these are all the forms of collateral. What the hell, dude? Or I guess I'll go to deposit. These are all the forms of collateral you can deposit. So you can Sol, USDC, USDT, Jito Sol, and M Sol or B Sol, and then Pyth, Jito, WETH, and WBTC.
So a good spread of collateral options, huh?
Exactly. So, but to amp it up a notch, let's say that I'm sitting in USDC in here, like ready to trade, and I decide, okay, Sol's going to go up. So what I might do is I might go to perps and place a long. But if I'm really confident in Sol going up, maybe I also want my collateral to be in Sol. So I can go to the swap tab and I can just swap that USDC for Sol, and now that's backing up my positions. At the same time, I can use that same margin that I have to do spot margin if I just want to be spot instead of perps.
Yeah.
I can use that same collateral to then borrow USDC if I see an opportunity on another platform. I can use that same collateral to provide LP to any of the asset pools that you can trade on for perps.
Yeah. Portfolio margin is great.
It's so good. Like portfolio margin is one thing, right? But the ability to swap without interrupting any of your positions across lending and borrowing, across perps, across LPing is crazy.
Yeah.
And then the ability to lever up on LPs and the ability to not just trade within this module, but like remove margin in the form of loans. Like it's so crazy. So it's a great home base for me to degen on Solana because there's just so much optionality. Every module that you would need is in here, you know?
Yeah.
So how do you figure, like, in terms of your central exchange experience versus this? Do you prefer this? I mean, what is the
Oh,
versus central exchange?
in terms of the trading experience, like stock shit, it's not great. Because like number one, there's just not enough liquidity in here. Now this liquidity on Sol Perps was at like 5 mil, like literally 5 days ago. So it's going up. But like liquidity is kind of dog shit, right? Like on Hxro right now, there's only 500K liquidity for perps.
Okay.
So your fills are not going to be great. Marketing in is basically not an option. And the funding is pretty jacked up. Like funding's kind of insane. Like I imagine what's like the only thing green on here? RLB. Let's go there. Right. So this is what you're paying per day. I think annualized, that's probably like 200% or something like that.
Is
APR.
the DLP a combined basket of all the assets, or do you have to do it per pair?
So the actual LP is per pair, and you can back that. Like you can grab LP shares against any collateral.
Mm-hmm.
You can also leverage LP.
And I saw that you can't deposit bonk. So what's the bonk collateralized in? Just USDC?
USDC, any of the collateral types that I was mentioning. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So the price itself is based on what? On oracles? Like how are they getting the bonk price if bonk is not even...
Pretty sure it's on oracles. Yeah. Let's see.
What wouldn't Pyth be used as the
Pyth? Yeah, it's Pyth.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they've got lots of assets: AVAX, Sol, BTC, ETH, BNB, XRP, AVAX. I already said AVAX, Doge, Link, Matic, Inge, OP, Aptos, Tia, Arb, Say, Render, Sui, HNT, Bonk, Pepe,
Nice.
Pyth, RLB, and Hxro. This is a lot of assets for a perp dex. And then
have you checked out Intent?
Intent X, I haven't really checked it out, and I know that that's like literally all your tweets are like fading Intent X anon.
Fuck, dude, this thing is just insane.
How do I? What is it?
Just go to Twitter and just do it off Twitter. Don't do it off here, because there's a lot of spam sites. Just go to the official site and do it from there. That's what I always do, anyways.
Cool.
They've got 260 pairs up here.
Holy shit! Really? Is this on Solana?
No, it's odd.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Why are you not using Rabby, dude?
Because I really don't. I haven't been on EVM since you started showing Rabby.
You must get it. It's really, it will change your experience. Like honestly, it's really, there's really absolutely no comparison between the two, and it obviously doesn't like the fact that you logged in.
Yeah, it's really not liking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Damn, they don't even support Phantom. What the hell?
You know,
I don't want to have to disable Phantom.
You know how cool this thing is from a, like Rabby is from a user experience and management of wallets. It's like a whole different ballgame. And then it also alerts you. Like when you signing something, it tells you exactly what you're signing. So it kind of minimizes. It's really cool. And it gives you alerts. It won't let you sign something if you've never done it before. It's super cool. But look at the pairs. I mean, it's fucking off the charts.
Yeah, it's nuts. Are they doing a token and points program or whatever?
So I think at the moment they're doing points token. They'll do something later on. I think what they're just wanting to do now is get that market fit. They're doing it the right way. You know, all these guys who first figure it out and then launch later and then give utility to the token. I think they're going to land up doing the same thing.
Yeah. Drift is doing like the founder was like, I'm not a fan of points programs. He like, I think he like did a poll on Twitter where he was like, what would you want to see in a points program if we did one? And I think they're pretty much going to do like a super short points program, reward people who were in before they announced it, and just go straight to token like as quick as possible, which is why I'm kind of excited to be farming it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a benefit for what you're doing at the moment. I mean, obviously, but it's like it seems like it's a good product as well. It's not just a case of, well, I'm going to do it, get what I can, and move along. It seems like it's completely legit.
At first, it was something to farm, and then I found I made like 10% being in their sole liquidity pool for like 4 days.
Nice,
which is sick.
Because you're positioned against the traders, basically.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. Exactly. And so I started liking that, and then like soon thereafter, like was like, actually, this is fucking really tight. And then I'm also farming this Flash Trade. Have you guys seen this?
No.
All right. So the way that they launched this in partnership with Tensor.
Oh, nice.
And their edge is, number one, they have this like NFT thing I'll explain, but also their edge is like you can trade Forex pairs and precious metals. And then they're also going to launch with coin, like
what leverage on Forex?
It's a good question. 100x on metals.
I think on Forex, you need like 400x for like, because the movements are so small.
Yeah, small. I mean, sure, you know. But yeah, like that's pretty cool. Their differentiator here is they're going to have equities. Then they have this, which is Flash liquidity provider pool. Pretty attractive APYs. This is a basket of these assets. And then they launched with NFTs, and I missed the mint on these. Like it went really, really quick. But the way that these work is you have like a primary one. Every dollar you trade in volume is what are called voltage points, and they accumulate on the NFT, and then you can level them up. So these two are leveled up. This one isn't yet. As you level up, your referral rebates increase, your fee discount increases, and then you also accrue rewards from trader fees to these NFTs. So these just collect USDC every day.
Wow.
And if you LP, you also get points on them. They level up to like level 6. And at that point, you've unlocked like maximum fee rebates and shit like that. And then the NFTs also just are going to get a token airdrop by default. So it's pretty tight.
It's like
Pokemon. What do you guys want to talk about?
Are you still doing stuff on Tensor? Is there an update about their points?
Yeah, I am. Let's go to Tensor real quick. How are my rewards doing? I'm 6,523, and I imagine most of that is just referrals.
Nice.
But yeah, I imagine Tensor airdrop, like it's probably the next biggest one after Jupiter. I imagine they're going to try to get their own month, you know, like they're not going to do it in January.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it could be February or March. Like we might start seeing rumblings about it. But yeah, I am farming. I've been mainly using soul maps to farm. So I'll set bids here, just like ride a little bit above the bottom bid, or the top bid rather, and then I'll just list a little bit under floor or at floor and just rinse and repeat. But the Tensor Sharks guys have been really dropping a shitload of alpha about how to farm Tensor optimally. Anyways.
You know what I noticed? The wallet that I have that I only bought a Madlat on, it's like actually ranked pretty good compared to like the wallets I've actually been trading on. It's like,
damn, yeah.
you get like so much benefits just for having Mad Lads on Solana.
Yeah, I think like
the dimension airdrop too is like 560 dim.
Is it like a weighted thing around kind of like the value of
it's
the
definitely
NFT
like
itself?
blue chips get you more points
sure.
for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. But like a wallet, I definitely traded more volume total on another wallet where I got less points. So I don't exactly know how they do it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, man. What do we got? 28 people watching. Someone said, I think it's base chain. Oh, for IntentX? I don't know if it is. Jedi said it's ARB. Oh,
No,
it
this
is base
base.
chain.
Sorry. I get confused between the L2s.
Yeah, there's so goddamn many of them. Well, yeah. What else we got going on, dude?
So I see that the Solana shitcoin scene memes is really like, it just hasn't stopped, has it? I mean, it kind of slowed down, and now we've got the WIF going absolutely bananas on all the perps dexes at the moment.
I think literally like as we draw closer to the 31st, when the Jupiter drop happens, like this is just going to intensify.
Yeah. It's really interesting to see how, like, normally we've seen in the past, and maybe it is a topic of conversation around how, you know, like your meme coins have their place, but then they always have this kind of like they're periodic. Whereas what we've seen over the last 3 months is that there've been other narratives, airdrops, farming, Celestis, this, say, Sui, but the meme coins have maintained their momentum. And they just continue. I mean, the upside down cat seems to be catching momentum now. There's quite a few of them actually. I mean, I've struggled to keep up, and I was just wondering what you guys thought about, you know, this ongoing meme season. Is it kind of like something that we're just going to have to? I mean, we had one of the $1.5 trillion asset manager. What are they called? They tweeted about fucking
Franklin Templeton or whatever.
Franklin Templeton got laser eyes and tweeting about a meme coin. I mean, have we arrived, gentlemen? What the actual fuck is going on?
Well, I think the difference here is that like this cycle, you do have VCs talking about meme coins. Like Joe McCann, the Solana Bull hedge fund guy, is literally investing like serious investor dollars into Bonk. And I think that like you know, opinions about meme coins are evolving to where like people went from thinking they're just stupid to thinking that they actually represent something, like that, you know, it's not just people being degenerate and having fun, like there's something else there. And you can kind of see that by like there is a clear value difference between like novel and funny memes versus ones that are just low effort. You know what I mean? Like
I like what Chewbacca says about meme coins, that they're easier to trade if you like know how to tune in to the hype. And because there's nothing like catalyst with stupid news or some bullshit hacks. There's nothing besides the chart and the people that you can see, like you can see them in the communities, you can see them on Twitter, you can judge it by feeling.
It's also interesting, like when I saw Chewbacca immediately gravitate towards used car, like that was all based on his sense of humor. It wasn't based off of anything else.
It was instinct. It was pure animal instinct.
It's basically, if you spend enough time in the trenches, you figure it out. But you've got to do the time.
You don't even need to think. You feel it. He felt it. Yeah. He just.
I think it very much has to do with like sense of humor. Like you can now actually capitalize on being like the funniest person in the Discord, you know, like that actually has a value now that can be expressed through like picking the right meme coins.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's true partially because some of the successful ones are still like honestly not funny, especially back in 2021 when the massive meme coin season on ETH happened with like tens of billions of valuations. Like they weren't really funny, Like, it was
No.
the idea that they're pumping so hard was funny, but besides that, it wasn't like a special joke or anything.
There's nothing funnier than a gently used 2001 Honda Civic going
Yeah,
to
it's a very funny
hundreds
meme.
of millions of dollars. Yeah. And it also like is referential towards like crypto being vaporware, because it's like, how do they value this used Honda Civic so highly? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I don't know if it like, I think there will be a rotation back to tech, so to speak, like at some point.
But
But
the
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
that tech is still doing its thing. I mean, we've
Yeah.
had Celestis run from $2 all the way to what's it, 17.5 at the moment, and like Say's done the same thing, and you've had significant and in fact mind-blowing moves that have happened over the last 3 to 4 months. And it's just interesting because normally we've had like clear rotations, whereas right now we're seeing consistency pretty much across the board. I think obviously there are some narratives that aren't really doing much. Like, I think AI has kind of taken a back seat. I mean, I accept that there's, at this point in time, there just isn't sufficient liquidity to keep everything going all at once. But it seems like there's still a lot going all at once. It's interesting. I mean, obviously these ones at the moment are very reactive to what Boomer Coin is doing at the moment. But given the opportunity, these things just want to fucking go. They just want to go up. You know, they kind of like take a break when Bitcoin does it's kind of like bedwetting, and then when it's done and it's rolled over and gone to sleep, these things want to go.
Yeah. Like every day I kind of have to contend with like, why aren't you all in this asset?
I was just gonna ask you about outliers on this dump.
Yeah. Everything's down like double digits. Pocket was up like 25% up here.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. And then also like basically Pocket and BRC-20s. Like, I ask myself every day why I'm not all in these things.
So this is the thing, is I rest my case. I mean, here's another asset class, if you want to call it that we just never had before. Now all of a sudden it's arrived, and it didn't just have several weeks of it. If anything, it's getting momentum and it's finding its own nuances. It's fucking incredible what's going on in this market at the moment.
Hxro, like a month ago, told us to bid Quack at 1.5 sats per. So it's almost it's over a 10x now. It's 15x.
10x now. Yeah.
And look at the bid floor between. Look at the ask floor between 15x and like 30x. Like, it's very thin. So yeah, like these things just, it seems like you just buy a BRC-20 and 1,000 X's, and that's the only thing that can happen.
Yeah, you can't lose. Any other outliers on this note? Anything on your list?
So what is your kind of like process on ordinals? I mean, what is your...
I wait for Hxro to show one, and then I buy it. That's literally it, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. Let me pull up Nats. I mean, I'm starting to get my own process. Like, I started researching Nats. I understand the tech. I understand how they're created, and I now know enough to be a little dangerous. But yeah, up until now, it's mainly just been wait for Hxro to show it.
Well, he has always been good at spotting what's coming.
He's very good at it. Where's Tap? Yeah, so Tap, DMT, Nat. You still can't get charts on this shit, but like, basically, I minted probably 27 billion Nat for like, I don't know, like $500 in gas fees, and now 1 billion's worth 169. The other day it was worth like 200, and it's still at like a $37 million market cap. But basically what the difference here is that, like, when you inscribe a BRC-20 such as this, you are literally just putting in some JSON data into a transaction with some sats, and those sats are now inscribed with the token. Whereas this, basically you say, I'm sorry, with NAT, you're taking one of like I think there's 37 data fields in a given Bitcoin block. And this references one of those data fields. In this case, field 11, the bits. And the bits field of a block tells you how many NAT tokens were minted in that block. So it's literally using a random non-arbitrary field. It's not random. They chose it, a non-arbitrary field of data to tell you the emission schedule. So every new block, there will be another bits field that'll tell you how many tokens get minted in that block. Same with bitmaps, right? Bitmaps are a version of this that references some of the data fields in a block. And there's 37 blocks that you can do this with. You can also like add and subtract them. You can like do all this like random arbitrary data. So basically they're mining like new token variants using those non-arbitrary data fields. And that's super interesting. It's a way to like create a token with an emission schedule that is validated by the security of the Bitcoin network. I kind of hate myself for what I'm saying right now, so I'm going to stop, but but yeah. So yeah, but every day I have to contend with that.
BRC-20s, would you say are the blue chips?
Out of BRC-20s?
Yeah.
Ordi and Sats are pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question to ask on just coming back to the shit coins. Why has Winamp not taken off? Because I just thought that was a brilliant idea on Solana.
Because it's a pit coin.
It's going to. It's going to.
Dude, if the pit is all in it, you know it can't go up. We have to wait till everyone jeets it and it's no longer a pit coin.
What about pre?
Oh man.
Well, that's going to zero at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bad.
It's on its way to zero, literally.
Yeah.
I can't believe I made money from it.
Actually, the fact that we made any money off of this is insane.
Yeah.
Damn,
I'm so underwater on this thing. I'm literally the captain of a submarine.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I might even be the admiral of a whole fleet of submarines.
It's not great.
My track record with meme and shitcoins is probably like $500 million in the red versus $1 in the green.
Wow, that sucks. That sucks ass. Yeah, basically just listen to Chewbacca on meme coins. That's it. That's all you have to do. Yeah. Just like with Hxro with BRC-20s.
Just follow his instinct.
Just follow what Chewbacca says.
Okay.
What do you guys think of the Solana 2? Did you order one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean,
you also referred like 5 people by now.
Yeah, yeah.
When is the leaderboard coming? I want to see it.
So just coming back to the ultimate shitcoin, what do you think it's going to do over the next couple of weeks? Because obviously we have Grayscale really doing its thing and getting rid of all its Bitcoin, etc., etc. Does the market continue to absorb it the way that it is at the moment, or do you think people are just going to get completely exhausted and just like, okay, well, nuke the thing to 35K and then we'll talk about it later?
I mean, it very obviously is distribution, like verifiably distribution, right?
Yeah, totally.
But one person's distribution is another person's accumulation, and the theory goes that that person who's accumulating is Larry Fink.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say. It
hasn't. Why not just do an OTC deal? I'm just curious around that. Why not get on the phone, do a deal, take a briefcase?
No, by definition, all GPTC flows are OTC deals. Like all ETF flows are OTC. They're not going to spot markets and settling up. So basically, like, you think about it like this. Let's say 100 people buy the ETF in a day, and then 90 people sell for the same unit size. That means net, they have to accumulate 10 shares worth of BTC. So they go to an OTC dealer and they get a quote on the price for it. And the OTC dealer goes to all of the venues they can acquire it for and tries to beat that quote that they gave. and make a profit. So it's all OTC desks. But those OTC desks are executing in lots of places, including spot markets.
So what you're saying is that what we're seeing at the moment now on the tape does not reflect what's actually happening between the ETF buyers and that supply and demand versus what we're seeing.
Like you can look at tape on the ETFs themselves. It will not correlate in real time to the underlying.
That's obviously that's the black box that is TradFi, and the fact that it is such a antiquated and dodgy system. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's quite dodgy.
No, it is dodgy. Absolutely, it is.
But yeah, this doesn't look great. I mean, now that it's here, like it might as well go to at least here.
Correct. I was expecting it to do that earlier, actually, when it started moving down, and then at one point, there really did not look like there was any demand. There was no significant bidders, and then it tried to bounce a bit, and then it kind of stayed there, and it stayed where it is now. But it's the first time, probably in the last 2 or so weeks, where the reaction on the bounce was probably the least I've seen, especially on the tape itself.
Yeah,
I know that you watched that closely. Yeah.
I was really hoping that we'd make a lot of very loud people shut up, but it doesn't seem like that's what we're about to do.
Yeah. Mm.
Damn, dude. Damn. Yeah, kind of all this stuff just is and looks bad.
Yeah, it's very unhappy at the moment. But I think what's interesting, though, is that once there's a clear forecast around grayscale, I think we resume back up again. But the question is, where do we arrive on Bitcoin? Do we arrive at 38? Do we arrive at 36, 35? Do we stay above 40? It's very difficult to make a call on that. I mean, it's more than likely going to go below 40.
Let's check out your favorite person's indicator.
Yeah, what does he say? What has he been saying?
I have no idea, but his guide for the
I know it's
bull markets is this thing.
Yeah.
And that sits at about 36, from 37 to about 35 right now.
I mean, if you draw the lines as well, like if you do just kind of like standard TA and you draw the lines, it definitely does sit at that level. The band does correspond. That band does not lie. It's not, by no means is it a liar.
Yeah.
Just the person that shows it is a bit of an idiot. But besides that,
yeah, I mean, probably like just draw out some shit. I'd say this is relevant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. Like, I just don't think you get this FEG, this imbalance. No. Like, I just don't think that's likely. So
I don't think it's likely with what's. I mean, it's obviously, Bitcoin definitely can defy logic on occasion. Like, it will go to places you just don't think is possible, even if you've got an ETF, even if you've got potentially all these bidders. It's like you just never know. But at the same time, I don't think it goes there either.
Maybe with some like macroeconomic, like disastrous news, it would go there.
Obviously, then it will go to 20. I mean,
that's always waiting around the corner, isn't it?
I mean, does it do that if China goes full tonk into Korea and says, "Okay, we're taking over"? I reckon it does.
I don't think they're going to do that, dude.
I don't think they will either. But if they did, then it'll. Yeah, I reckon that's the kind of event that this thing reacts very badly to. Yeah.
Or just like a run-of-the-mill recession, like could do that.
You think?
Yeah, because people like a run-of-the-mill recession, in terms of what it looks and feels like, doesn't ever feel run-of-the-mill, right? You'll have every news station being like turmoil in the markets and this is failing and this other critical infrastructure is failing and everything's failing and all the safeguards are pulling out and so that could happen.
Yeah, I think it gets interesting even below 40. Could be interesting,
I
like
agree.
from a sentiment perspective. I think people will lose their minds. I think
the most rosy picture of all this, obviously the most rosy picture is that we just go up. But the most rosy picture that includes downside from here, I would say, is like 39.5, 39.2. I think that looks good. This red line here. Let's do some RTTA on this, right?
you're looking at fibs.
Yeah.
Mm.
An accurate name if there ever were one. Okay, cool. So your PCZ is the 38 zone, and 35 everyone was calling for is
Your reload
common
zone.
retrace. Yeah.
Mm.
The reload zone is 618 to 786, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be like 32. That seems incredibly unlikely though.
Imagine it goes there. Look, it's starting to go below that level that you marked earlier on. It's actually on that level at the moment now at 41.
This is Monday range.
Yeah.
So you got, here's the whole candle for Monday. Jesus Christ, it's dumping. It's dumping hard,
Yeah,
friend.
It's dumping hard, dude.
Yeah, we'll probably like nuke today then.
Well, you asked a question before stream, like, do we kind of, does it stop now or does it gradually go down? And it's done a little bit of both. Kind of slow down, and then it's now deciding, fuck this shit, I'm going down. But it's now at the level. This is bounce level right here, because you got that double candle on the hourly. So if you bring it, that double candle there, the retrace, 4 hour,
this one,
1 hour, yeah, that one. It's kind of like,
yeah. You've also, I mean, it's currently is. I mean, I guess there's more than 14 candles, but no, it's not. There's no divs. There's no hope. It's over. Dude. Jesus.
Well, we get to watch it on stream.
Yeah, that'll be fun, dude.
So, you know what's interesting? Like, just, it's obviously really interesting to watch what's kind of like holds out when this kind of thing happens. Like, it's not really about watching Bitcoin for me. It's about how are other kind of like bigger altcoins holding out. And there's a new one on the block on Perps anyways, and that's XAI. I don't know if you've seen this thing.
Yeah. I've also been looking at some things that are built on XAI, but yeah, look at that.
So check this thing out. It's really like holding, and even if you just go, like, the hourly gives you an even better representation of its strength, because that yeah, I mean, it's up. It's up, dude. It's like, it's not actually taking the beating. It's not, and that retrace that it's done was from yesterday's move. It was just kind of like a little bit of a deviation, but this thing's looking good. I mean, make a note for whoever's listening to watch this. I think this might be
looks really good.
Play. Yeah.
It's one of the only green projects in the Arbitrum ecosystem in the past week.
Is this Arbitrum ecosystem?
Yeah. It's on it's like on Nova. It's a gaming project.
Interesting. Well, yeah, dude, the strongest asset in the market, make no mistake, it's Pocket.
Yeah, Pocket's done really well. When is it going to be listed everywhere? Or is that the reason why it's doing
it? Already is listed on all the tier 2, tier 3 shit houses.
Okay. So when is it coming to the tier 1s? Where can you buy it on chain?
You can buy W Pocket on Ethereum mainnet. Okay. Wrapped Pocket. Which was the narrative that I was bidding back in 2021. Was them announcing like
you were buying this thing OTC and Telegram.
It has good liquidity too. Wrapped Pocket.
Yeah. I was buying it from Ed over at Thunderhead.
So have you held on to all of them, or did you sell?
No, dude. No, I sold between like $2.50 and $3, or maybe just 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's gonna go back there, dude.
I think so. I really think it will. Another one that I really like that your mate Grant is also into is this one.
He loves this thing.
Yeah, I'm hugely bullish on this.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what does Picasso Network do?
Okay, so it started off as a project on Polkadot that was going to connect Polkadot to IBC Cosmos. Then they decided, well, if we're going to connect Polkadot, let's connect Solana, and then let's also connect Ethereum to IBC. Okay. So as you know, like bridging assets from Solana or Ethereum to Cosmos is a gigantic pain in the ass. And so Picasso is, and Composable Finance is like a Cosmos L1 that natively connects to all of these. So you'll be able to seamlessly bridge assets between all three. And then they decided, okay, well, we need staking for our security. Why not let you restake existing staked assets on these other proof of stake chains that we're connecting? So now you're going to have Solana restaking on Picasso network. And probably at some point Ethereum restaking as well. So it's just got like so many fucking narratives, like
totally. I mean, that's like three clear layers, like baked in.
Yeah, and it's sub 100 million market cap.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you know what I've also found really interesting, coming back to this whole narrative thing and rotations, and it's impossible to keep up with everything because everything's doing what it's doing at the moment, and there's just so many layers and solutions that dudes are trying to solve. I mean, even with a full-time job, I mean, this is what I do. This, you know, like we write about this stuff, we talk about this stuff, and I mean, I struggle to keep up with all of this kind of like all these nuances, you know, like it's just, I mean, I wish I didn't have to sleep.
Yeah. I think it's a mistake to try to catch all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I gave up on that a long time ago. I'm definitely not trying to do that.
Yeah, like if you can find one or two that you understand and understand why it might be like a strong narrative, like that's all you need.
Pick a few segments.
Yeah.
So is that what you guys are doing? I mean, what is kind of like, JC, what are you like, how are you approaching particularly this cycle? I mean, what is your focus? Are you just kind of going with the flow? I mean,
most of my capital has been on Arbitrum, so I've been focusing there even while everyone was fading it. Then it caught a nice bit, not too much, but it was good. The shit coins on Arbitrum I did really good on, even though they went to levels much lower than anything on Solana. I also have stuff on Solana. The stuff I've been fading, even though it was going up, is like Cosmos and BRC-20s, maybe regrettably, but I managed to still do okay. And then some stuff I just keep I keep it on my Sex account, like the Sui Say. What else was there? Like all those rotations, people, all that. I just keep it on the centralized exchange. It's too much to bother bridging to every single chain.
So are you doing airdrops at all? Are you doing any of
that? Yeah. I've always done airdrops. But maybe not to the extent of some people, maybe even some people in this very stream.
I know that Toasty's been like, I was so surprised. Like, well, I wasn't surprised. I mean, being surprised around Toasty's it's not an option. It was like he was so into, like, you know, the 1.5 second Bitcoin chart, and he was
that was bear market Toasty.
No, dude, he was like an absolute motherfucking beast, and he was just like really nailing it. And like, I remember we did a stream and I was talking about on chain, and he was kind of like, I know it was like, I mean, I couldn't see him, but I knew, like, I could sense it was like deer in the headlights, and he wasn't really believing me. And it was kind of like very much, in the bear, and then a few weeks later, I mean, it was maybe a month, 6 weeks later, he's doing a stream on his own, and he started rattling off all these airdrop strategies in Cosmos and the rest of it, and I was just like,
you gotta know to switch your bias.
Fuck? Where did he come up with this shit? Because it's just like stuff that I'd never heard about, and I'm like, okay, he's back. He's back. He's
I remember
in the DeFi cockpit, and let's go, baby.
Yeah. I remember in early 2023, I was like, we were arguing. I was saying it's a bull market, and Toast was saying it's not. Remember that?
Yeah, you definitely won that one, dude. You won that.
Back then. Remember that alt season, like January, February?
That was insane on Arbitrum.
Oh, January was first. Like I never, even when I was bear charting, was never in contention about January being a clear alt season.
I was just on Arbitrum, like around the airdrop, and that felt like more of an Arbitrum season than anything in the past couple of months. Like,
agreed.
It was actually doing pretty good now in the bear market.
Did well.
Damn, RT is shit posting in the pit and not on stream right now. Dude, does anyone else find that curious?
He's fading the stream.
For real.
There's also another segment that I think no one from our circles is paying attention to, and that's launchpads. Some launchpad tokens have done very well lately.
Like what?
Like paid.
Yeah, there's fuel, there's paid. Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Yeah,
actually.
It's done on like a 30x from the bottom.
Is it BNB token?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not bad.
It was completely flatline minus 99%. Just comes back to life with a 30x.
Yeah, that rocks.
Yeah.
Did you see? Did you play? Did you get in on this one?
I had a bit actually, because someone I know was recommending it, but not.
Go ahead.
What do you guys think about? I mean, obviously the space is a casino as it is, but I mean, what do you guys think of casinos in kind of like the crypto context? I mean, obviously we can refer to Rollbit, and I'm just curious what your thoughts are and kind of like potential narratives around this.
I think the one thing casinos have against them is that they are real yields narratives. Like any way you slice it, like the tokens themselves are in the real yield narrative category, and like real yield gets faded so hard in any bullish conditions.
It's like they did well actually in Arbitrum season. There were like a few of them, like I forgot the names, but they copied the GMX model. I don't know about that. They copied the GMX model with the LP token, and then you had like real yield based on a casino, which I mean, in theory, that sounds like a really good idea, but they all ended up dying.
Yeah.
So imagine a casino where you actually had transparency on the blockchain, right? So you could actually see the random number generation in real time, for one. And then ownership was not prescribed to an organization or to an individual or to individuals. It would obviously be like any true blockchain decentralized entity would be. It would be permissionless and the rest of it. And you didn't have a house. It was essentially games that could be played through contracts, and it would be literally between parties as opposed to the house overseeing the process. Do you think something like that could work?
I think these are all things that in a bull market people do not care about. In a bear market,
let's just take. You're 100% correct. I know that it's a little bit of a kind of like a counterintuitive response, but I mean, I expect nothing less from you. But let's just for a second, imagine that it was important and that there was an opportunity to do something like this. Do you think that it could have relevance beyond a bull market and would be relevant as in the context of what blockchain has to offer?
I think that it should already be the case that is what it is, right? Like the fact that we have things that are not that is insane. Oh, RT's here. We footed
shit.
him hard enough, dude.
You can see he's definitely not at home. He's traveling. That's what's going on here.
For real. This is the face
I
of a man
accidentally booked a ridiculous suite, and I mean that sincerely. It's
So he actually logged in to laugh.
Have you been enjoying it?
bro. I gotta show you. This is too cool. Look at this shit.
Fuck,
Like-
dude, that's impressive.
Okay,
Shows the
so
view.
you walk in, and I got lost over here, and I'm like, damn, there's queen beds. The whole point of me going up a bit was to get the king. And there's like a bathroom, and like I was like, bro, and then I go to the other side, and there's like a whole next king room. I was like, okay, I'm in Vegas right now, on my own, like a nerd. Anyways, I saw y'all streaming. I was like, maybe the Wi-Fi's all right. Look at this shit.
Dude, that's
This
impressive.
is crazy. I'm still going. Like I get lost in here. Anyways,
Wow.
we're down here on official business, and Gunny's actually coming up in a little bit. We're gonna hang, get some work done, and I'm just chilling. And I'm a little uncomfortable with what I'm seeing on the charts,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna say I'm not surprised. And
Well, you have been calling it for several weeks.
yeah, I think, my problem is I was trying to go like too all in, all out. So I landed on a new allocation last week where I just picked up some long-term, small long-term positions that I just don't touch. And then I'm not really worried about, what if I'm wrong and it goes up? So now I'm sitting on the cash I'm sitting on, like much more comfortable. I'll take a little downside risk with whatever like that longer term bag is, but that's how I solved the problem. The problem being that I was just like trying to make too big a decision. Hey, there he is.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Toastless.
My computer rugged, dude.
Oh no. Okay.
What happened?
I might have.
What
Anyways,
happened? Did you blue
nice to see
screen?
your face.
Yeah, it literally blue screened.
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
So yeah, I mean, all that to say, it's the same kind of thesis as before, which is like you have this excitement, you have this huge event. Yes, it's bullish long term, but like it's pretty like I don't know, guaranteed is a strong word. It's easy to say today because we're dumping, but I mean, like there's such a high probability that after that moment, there's just a big. That's crypto, guys. Like, what are we new?
The release.
What are you
release.
new? Like, you don't think you're gonna get rugged before you get to get paid? Like, it's just not. It's not like the guys buying the news get to enjoy gains, at least in the short term. So, it's not surprising at all. Like I said, though, it's still uncomfortable. I don't love it. I still have a bit more ETH.
Where's Bitcoin going? What do you think?
And that's kind of why I decided to just buy some shit. Around 42 the other day because I was like, look, I'm gonna put a couple Bitcoin aside, like a little bit of ETH. Because the downside and whatever this dip looks like when it's done is just going to look like a blip, and it's probably not going to be worth trying to like catch the down move.
Yeah.
But timing wise, I mean, we've got the halving, April, May. March is typically kind of a shitty
20th
month.
of April. 20th of April.
Yeah, like I kind of imagine March will be like a capitulation if we were going to just see some of this choppy crap, and maybe it ends in March. Who knows? But it's really like a buy the dip scenario, but probably like through DCA over months, not rush in on every dip day. And then, it's going to probably be that classic like church pew, where it's like the dip. And there's a guy up in the top, just like the dip. Like, be patient would be my 2 cents. I'm going to be very patient. The last thing I'll say, because I'm hitting you guys up with so much, and I just rated your stream, is to wait until there's just blood in the streets. Not uncomfortable, Thursday, a week after the event. Like, I mean blood. Like, there's some kind of news, that puke event. People put money on the floor, pick it up. But I don't see the money on the floor just yet. Fire sale's not here yet. I think it's coming. I've been thinking it's probably coming. But, got some length, got some cash, and just kind of waiting, having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like how long that sounds like it will take.
Well, that's the thing, and nobody's going to, and that's the market doesn't give a fuck. Like it's we've all been through it
though that there is still a whole. The interesting thing about what you've just said now is, Circa, is that it comes down to are you able to entertain yourself with
No.
other stuff that's happening? That's your problem. That you need to sort out. Like a long
Max Payne is boredom.
Yeah, and
No,
I think
I can't do that.
There's stuff happening. There's ordinals. There's a lot of stuff happening if you want to get involved, and just don't get too clever on the other stuff because you're just going to land up over trading it. I think that's.
I mean, Butterfly's ripping. Look at Butterfly. I don't know what it's doing today, but it was like kind of price discovery,
still
killing it. Like, there's always a bull somewhere. There's going to be a hot ball of money, and I think the biggest thing for me is just to be patient. It's so hard. I mean, I sit and look at this shit all day, and it's so hard to not see some setup come in and try to trade it. And I think ultimately, looking back, we had such a good September. Well, September sucked. That was the low. But October, November, December was fantastic. I mean, a lot of people made a lot of money. And maybe you didn't hit your goals, but you made some. And going through that event, you know, the approval, the listing of the ETFs, to me, that kicks off the giving back phase. That's kind of the gist of what I was saying over the last few streams, is like, this is now coming into the giving back phase. And so the game is less about how much money can I make this month and more about how little can I give back until green pastures return. So that's my focus.
It's true what you say, and then we land up playing these mind games with ourselves where you think, no, I'm better than that. And the thing is that you generally aren't, and it never will be. So just sit down and sit on your hands and just be patient. Yeah. And I'm speaking to myself now, by the way. This is not.
I'm saying, yeah, it's all myself too. And like last year, you know, maybe you made some money in January, March, through that, you know, the bank failure stuff. Yeah. Like there was moments of making money, but where did everyone make most of the money? Right, Q4. And so like waiting for those moments really to take the gloves off and go ham. Otherwise, it's like, you know, play small is my 2 cents. I mean, that's what I'm doing. Just kind of trying to like have like a 50 to 60% allocation of cash that's just kind of waiting until it's like, okay, fuck, I have to buy this. This is so absurd. This is like, this dip is so absurd. We're just not there yet. It sucks, but it's not absurd. I think it will. I think it'll get there.
Where do you think Saul will be by the end of all this, dude?
Ooh, I don't know. I bought some last week. That was part of the vault that I'm putting aside long term. So at 96, I don't have my charts in front of me, but anything's on the table. Guys, you know crypto, man. This shit, it's like the best thing since sliced bread. It's going to 1,000. 2 months later, you know, you can't find a buyer at 30. So who knows where this thing wants to go. It's more about like daily W's are just coming in on a lot of names. So that's where I kind of come up with this idea of multi-month chill time. And somewhere through the end of that, you're going to see things like volume reversing, momentum reversing, daily W's coming in. You know, so it's less about where is it going to go. It's more like, what am I going to do when those things happen? The answer is buy.
Rope.
No,
right.
no, buy, dude. Like nothing's changed, right? This is the beautiful thing. Nothing's changed objectively. If you're like, I'm excited for 24 and 25, I'm excited for Bitcoin to be the top asset class or growing asset class in our generation. Like none of that's changed. We're just getting better prices. And like I said, the dip. Better prices are only a gift if you wait for the right ones. So you just lose money along the way, and then you end up puking the low. And then buying back up here at 42 2 months later after Max Payne. So those are my hot takes for the day.
Well, all right. That sounds horrible.
It's not always fun, dude. It's not always fun, but it can be less horrible. I think that's the key. Like I said, it's not about how much can I make this one, how little can I give back, how unhorrible can I make this.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just what you get, and the people who can, you know, wrap their head around that and just sit there and be like, wow, you know, I should find a hobby, like just learn how to trade, like, you know, brush up on my skills, do some research. There's lots of things you can do other than buying. Sorry, I'm getting excited.
Very nice, dude. Well, all right. Okay. So you're not
vibes nuclear.
All right. Holocaust of the vibes. Very cool.
And with that, I gotta go. I gotta go get Gunny downstairs. But I'm gonna be watching and listening. So I love you guys, and thanks for letting me come in and nuke your vibes.
Of course, dude. My computer rugged off of those vibes.
All right. Take care.
Peace out, dude.
So what is your computer done?
It's rugged. It's happened a couple of times when I'm live streaming. I think it's actually Space Mesh. I'm mining Space Mesh,
Yes.
and that takes up my GPU.
Yeah, that's what it is. Definitely.
I think it's that.
Yeah, it's definitely that. 100%.
Yeah. Why, have you heard that from other people mining Space Mesh?
I've just built computers most of my life, and I know that's the kind of thing that would really loop it. Or
Yeah.
And you've got a sense, and that sense cannot be underestimated or faded. So
Yeah.
And there's only one way to test it, and that's to just not run it and see if it does it again. And I bet you it won't.
Yeah, it probably won't. But it looks like
just launched today, by the way. Manta
did? Did they do their airdrop? Oh shit!
I think so. Yeah.
It was listed as well, eh? So it was listed on all the exchanges. Like, they really did a fantastic rollout. I mean, in terms of the logistics around that, they nailed it.
And we're back.
Well done.
I'm going to go ahead and not start Space Mesh now.
So, yeah, it hasn't done particularly well. I mean, it's just been down only.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun going on.
Is there? Okay. So it's kind of leveled out now at 2.1. But it came in at 2.5, and then it's just been down only. But it didn't like nuke that hard, but the market didn't really like it initially. But it's very likely to just sit here and level out and then just fucking up only. You know how these new charts are.
Yep.
Question is, do you buy some here now, or do you wait and see for a clear move up?
I'm thinking about it.
MNT?
No,
Manta.
It's just Manta.
Oh, is MNT Mantle?
Manta. Yeah.
Manta. Yeah. I don't know, dude. They're the one who's airdropping Tia stakers, or is that Mantle?
Mantle.
Dude, it's so confusing. Hey, the name, change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Change it. Wait, so Mantle's an L2, right?
Yes, it is.
Manta is an L2, yeah.
Manta and Mantle are L2s?
Yeah.
Dude, change it. You know? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. Not bullish on I'm not bullish on Manta or Mantle. TBH.
The thing is, though, that Mantle really does kind of like take this whole LSD thing to another level, and then they're incentivizing it with serious airdrops, from what I understand, and then obviously partnerships. So you can't fade Mantle. It's not really an option. You kind of are forced to participate because of that.
Well, let's say that RT's theory is correct. Let's say that ridiculous theorist theory plays out. What will we be doing for the next few months?
Getting bored to death.
We'll be finding those alternative narratives that we were speaking about earlier on, where it is about ordinals, it is about the fringe stuff. I think that stuff will carry on. It's just whether you can find them, which we will, and whether you get stuck in adequately. And I think people will, because people don't want to be bored. So what's cool about Mantle, just to round it off, is that it's a modular approach. It's an L2 that obviously uses the Ethereum virtual machine, but it's modular. So it basically takes a page out of Celeste's book, and that's why you can't fade it.
I very much can, Jedi.
You can, but I know you, dude, and you do not fade things that can make you money, and that's something that can make you money.
I guess so. I guess that's true. Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of bearish on.
Yeah, me too. In many ways, I am as well. But it's It's just so, it's got its place, this thing. And if everyone's saying it, then you just got to accept it and you got to find the groove.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that different phases in the bull market, right? Like we are going to enter that phase 2. Phase 1 is let's determine who the real players are in the market, and then let's start betting on them. I think that there's a clear understanding as to what that landscape looks like. There will be others that will come into phase 2, but phase 2 is really making sure that you maximize your gains through those ones that you identified in phase 1. And then phase 3 is then preserving the capital that you made in phase 2 and then putting it to work through yield strategies, through lending and borrowing, through looping, through the abracadabras and all that kind of stuff, or the equivalents thereof. And then Mantle becomes
the tapioca DAOs. What's up?
Correct. Yeah. Capturing the value that these protocols offer you through the capital that you put up front. And that's phase 3, and that's where the fun starts. And that's when Mantle and all these guys start becoming really relevant.
I've been going through the math on Eigenlayer.
There we go. There's another one. You know.
I think that the return on capital lockup for Eigenlayer will be the most cucked play of the last 4 years, because you have all these ETH whales with like infinite wealth, and if they, you compare like what they're doing to get Eigenlayer points, and you say if you had the same amount of capital and you went and spread it across TIA wallets, what would the return be versus that? And I just don't think Eigenlayer can reach the valuation necessary for it to be worth it in compared to other things they could have done with that capital.
Yeah, I wonder.
It's an interesting chain of questions that you ask, and the only way that we're going to find out is when it plays out.
Right. Yeah.
And then we see evaluations go, okay, well, we're going to list this thing at 100 million, and people 3 months ago, you said something like 100 million, they'd be like, no, dude, the thing's worth 10. You mad? You can't say 100. Now it's 100. In 6 months' time, it's going to be $1 billion and $1.5 billion. Those are the evaluations that these things will be coming into the market at. Why? Because there's liquidity and because there's froth. But the froth
I think Eigenlayer has multi-bill at launch value.
Absolutely, yeah.
But not like 100 bill.
But even obviously 5 bill is huge, bro. Like seriously, like.
But that's like what TIA launched at, isn't it? Or like Jito launched at like 3 bill FTV or something like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, look, everyone was kind of like dunking on Berachain because they raised 42 million and their valuation was at 432 mil. People were like, "There's no ways it's worth that, dude." When that thing launches, and they've done like another 2 rounds, it's going to be worth $1.5 billion, and people are going to be quite happy with it. They're going to be, "Hey, that's not too bad."
There's like 90% of the arguments people make in this space can just be rooted out or disregarded just by like looking at previous cycle theory.
Correct.
And just saying like, yeah, by the time this launches, we'll be in the heat of a bull, thereby like 1 billion is FUD. Like, even if you're in a bear market when 400 mil valuations sound crazy, like it's like, well, when does it launch? But everyone's like falling over themselves to say like, we're going to get a bigger cycle than last one, or we're going to end the cycle earlier than last one, or it won't start as early, or the halving won't. People fucking literally say with a straight face, the halving will be insignificant and there will be no pump.
Yeah.
Like after
whoever says that clearly has no idea, in my opinion. Once again, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but it's definitely going to be a significant one. And there's one thing you can never ever fade and you can never ever discount, and that is the nature of human beings, and more importantly, their desire for greed. And that's what this is. End of story. The ones who are less greedy are the ones that walk away with the most money. Oh, the irony.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting. I really hope that we don't just cuck until the halving. That would be boring as shit.
Yeah.
I think in light of just looking at it without wanting to be too mid-curve about it, because that's probably the biggest trap that there is in this discussion. It just seems logically not possible for that to happen because there's so much going on right now. And for everything to just stop because of one thing, namely Bitcoin, like just for it to just stop makes zero sense to me. It really, like, I think in many ways that's what's different about what's happening right now, is that there is so much else going on around this space. It's not just about Bitcoin anymore. It's really changed a lot.
Well, we definitely saw inklings of that, but it's like not new, obviously, that that like after BTC topped last cycle, like we not only got an alt season, but we felt like a whole cycle like of just alt activity.
It kind of tricked us, though. It made us think that Bitcoin is going to come back because we were doing so well.
Yeah, it did. Definitely felt like we were going to get remember the flat correction thesis.
And that was when Duke Wan was pumping Bitcoin really hard, right?
Yeah, and
30K
Ansem,
to like 48K or something.
Ansem came out and tweeted, I feel like y'all are going to overtrade this. This isn't chop. This is the start of a new cycle. And that actually began, like, there's a time in the cycle when all the people who are going to make you the most money in a bull become like, you have to start fading them. And that was like the time of Ansem's flip over to like, all right, I can't listen to this anymore. But then, there's
Angelo for this reason. The moment that an Angelo BTC call puts you in the negative, the bull run ended.
Really? Yeah. He's
I was copy trading him. Everything would go fucking up only.
Yeah.
The second he's wrong, it was over.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. I wonder if we like back tested that strategy, what the equity curve would look like. It would just have one dip. But yeah, like then there are also the times when that flips the other way. And I think like Ansem's call on Solana was obviously that time.
How low did he call it?
I think he was starting to get really bullish on it between like $10 and $20.
Nice.
But so was Grant. Grant was the same. Grant was running parallel with him, and then Grant wrote that Solana thesis, which just came at the right time. But he had been writing it for like, I think, a month. Like he'd really gone into the ecosystem.
Nomad has had his Solana since $8.
Wow, that's amazing.
Nomad doesn't even look at like ecosystem or any of that shit. He's just like, all right, this is clearly depressed and undervalued. I'm going to scoop up a gigantic bag.
Yeah.
And then he just sits on it. He doesn't even care. Like, such a good trader, dude.
That is good.
Yeah.
It's the best way to trade that stuff. I made the most money off those kind of trades where you have a high conviction, you buy, and you just don't touch it until things get completely out of control, and then you discipline yourself to sell and don't try and time the top.
I'm pretty sure that's what Yamji did with ETH at 950 or 850. He just shoved both legs in and was like, all right, I'm here.
Yeah.
And it hasn't ever revisited that.
I think Celestis is going to do that. I think Say is going to do that. I think Injective's going to do that. Those are my three probably highest conviction plays. I think there's just too much there, and there's too many layers there for it, in my mind, not to do that. So I'm just going to sit and wait until it goes parabolic, and then I'm going to sell.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think Say people unironically will overtrade Say.
Market's not happy at the moment, eh? Like it's just really not happy at the moment. The dumps continue.
Finally back up, so let's see if I can just close this out with a look at that.
Yeah, it's just really just nasty at the moment.
Really prodigious levels of not great. Here, let's jump in.
And it's not so much the value. It's not so much the value, it's just the reaction from the rest of the market and how everything is reacting to this very seemingly small move, but it's really like accentuated on everything else. If you look across,
You gonna make any moves, Toasty?
Me?
Yeah.
Have I closed or opened anything?
Are you gonna?
I might have to just close at a loss on all my longs right now.
yeah,
But I don't know.
I'm considering
kind of-
it at the moment as well.
What about spot?
Spot I won't touch.
I kind of want to wait for a bounce though before I do that. Oh shit. All right, this might rug me, but I'm going to try to present.
If you're not running mesh, then you're fine. It's not going to crash you.
Whoa. Jedi, your company's computer guy over here. He was
Built
right.
many rigs and I've built many rigs in my life, dude.
Yep. Yeah, dude, it just continues to crater. The one thing I said probably wouldn't happen is happening, just a slow bleed down. Damn, it is Fade Circus season right now, dude. Fade me for free money.
You said it's not likely to slow bleed. It's either going to go really hard or it's going to stop, and it's the opposite.
I mean, it still could go really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this sucks. It fucking sucks.
It's the boring dump. It's the worst.
Oh my god, so bad. The slow rug?
Because you don't get the bounce. That's the problem.
It's no adrenaline.
Yeah, it's terrible. And with significant volume as well. Like, ugh. It's gross.
I was expecting something to happen at 41.5 and it just didn't. It kind of just sliced straight through that.
I mean, something kind of happened
ETH
there,
BTC
right?
is kind of holding. ETH BTC is still green.
Wow. Maybe there's hope for alts yet.
I don't know, dude. If you look at the alts across the board, they're looking pretty disgusting.
You know what else is green? Doge BTC.
It is truly over. Yeah, I mean, total 3 looks terrible. High, lower high. Fuck, dude. Well, it's over, dude. It's a wrap.
It was a fun bull run.
Yeah, this is cool.
Hope
Definitely had a lot of fun. I'm sure I'll get airdrop tons of tokens that will be effectively worthless.
Yeah.
Don't be negative, boys.
This
Don't be negative. This too shall pass. It will be fine.
No, it's fun. This literally is just fun to LARP as someone who's.
You know, the thing is, I think the thing is, RT was 100% right. You have to. There's a price to pay when it goes up, and this is the price we're paying it, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's stupid, though.
Toasty, there is no support.
Yeah, for real. There's no support. It's so over, dude. We're all gonna be.
It's dumping. Look.
Oh my goodness! Look at that tape.
Oh shit!
This tape is printing, dude. Printing.
Negative.
Dude, shorts are happy right now.
Shorts are printing.
I can hear my GPU.
I wonder if your GPU is just not happy generally because you've.
Yeah, I don't think it's a happy boy. I think it's a happy camper right now, dude. Yeah, where does a bounce come in on this, you think?
Well, what are the levels? Where do you see the levels? I thought 41.5 was the level. But clearly that.
Sol is losing. I mean, it's done this a bunch of times, but this trend line has been pretty goated.
I'm thinking
zero.
What?
The zero
Strong.
when you said the zero trend line.
Strong support at 0, dude.
Yeah, strong support at 0.
Through that trend line, but it could bounce,
I'm ready to buy at 0.
Draw out liquidity real quick.
So it's the 45. It's the 40,500, not the 41.5. Sorry about that.
Here's liquidity. Is this equal lows? Pretty much equal lows. So those could get run as a matter of principle.
So it's the 40,500. That's the one. Let's see if it gets there. What looks like I was going to call it. And
I mean, if it starts running these, like you got to imagine the liquidation cascade that's coming. It's like 39 at a minimum, maybe. Let's see, dude. What a rare and fun opportunity we get to live stream the death of the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you say it before? This is like the most active hours in the week, the pit stream?
Yep. Or it was for like a solid 3 months there. Every time we streamed, it would just nuke.
Yeah.
Thursdays at like 2 p.m. was the time. Interesting. Dude, there are no buyers.
Literally. That's because why buy if these corporate fuckers are going to just dump tomorrow, you know?
Everyone in the world that cares about crypto already bought. There's just no one left. We need to, like, I don't know, birth more people if you want buyers.
That's true. Yeah. Get on it, dude. Produce us some buyers. How many children do you have now?
Only one.
Oh, did fucking quadruple that shit at least.
Yeah.
Jedi's at least doing his part here.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. I mean, there's a lot of volume and a lot of liquidations, but it's just not producing any upwards price movement whatsoever.
Alts are fucked. They're cooked. They're cooked.
Dude, the midterm cook fallacy is playing out in real time.
Dude, and ARB is not above the all-time high anymore, so I can't cope. No cope left.
Yeah, dude, this is bad. I don't know. It feels wrong to end it here. Do any of you guys got a cut?
So it's still on 41.5, right? The real bounce.
No, it's at 40.8 right now.
Yeah, it's not on 41.5
It's fucking very far below 41.5, dude. We're very close to liquidity, dude. Let's get some sweeps and then up only.
Yeah. Just a few more liquidations and it's up only.
Just a few more.
Dude, what? At least people literally don't know how to sell BRC-20s.
Yeah. Are there buyers though? Like if you wanted to sell now?
I highly doubt that. Maybe though.
So it's like the liquidity goes from like millions to zero.
Ooh, maybe dude, how weird would it be if it bounced right before sweeping any of these lows? But then again, that's what BTC has been doing this whole time, right? Like creating just obviously sweepable lows and then never taking them all the way up.
Mm-hmm. So you're looking at like 4,500? Like
that's the first level to sweep is 40.6.
Yeah, and then you think it's just gonna cuck those people?
Cascade down to 40.5, then cascade down to 40.1. And then what the hell? Might as well go fill some weekly FVGs like this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just set this to the right template.
Also
39.2.
Also seeming to want to push up, yeah. But I don't think it's going to last if Bitcoin carries on like this, obviously.
Oh, Chia's getting wrecked too.
Everything's getting wrecked.
Good God. Wow. Yamjeet and RT were right. That's probably the most depressing thing about this. It's not losing thousands of dollars. It's them being correct.
Yeah. Wait, is Yamjeet in a short now?
What?
Is Yamji going to?
Oh, yeah. He's short AVAX. He's short, or he closed STX at the exact wrong time to do so. And I think he's short BTC as well. Dude, he always wins. What the fuck?
Because he's got his ear on the ground and he makes the right decisions.
He doesn't even have his ear on the ground, dude.
Doesn't he?
That's the thing. He just feels it. The Baron,
he doesn't.
Baron has 300 top level quants from Johannesburg, and they feed him the alpha, and he just gets to make the best moves.
They combine all the opinions of 200 people into one.
You can never fade the opinion of quants that are from the heart of an African city. It's not, you just can't.
Dude. Damn. Right as cryptocurrency was saving Johannesburg single-handedly, this happens.
Yeah,
the city cannot catch a break.
Obviously, Johannesburg does not deserve to be saved.
The smartest people in their invested in Pocket before this downturn.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
Still the only green one on my list.
Wow. Yeah. Well, let's look at it. I mean, not for long, right? But maybe.
It's ETH BTC, Doge BTC, and Pocket. That's the only green things on my list.
Wow, dude. Chad pairs.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. And Hxro.
What are the chances?
Dude, why didn't we all in Hxro?
Jesus, that's a lot of red.
Yeah. Let's look at the biggest losers. Pika is one of them. Great. Love it. Cool. Thanks. Jito, I'm also along that. That's great. Bonk, also along that. That's awesome. Have a bunch of say. All of the biggest losers.
Yeah. Let me see the top 300 on CoinGecko. I'll tell you.
Yeah. I mean, Whiff is nuking. Everything's nuking. That's, I mean, does it exist? Is it a cryptocurrency? Good. It's nuked.
Sell it.
Sell it. Damn, dude. Yeah,
Jito and Say are the worst performance tokens in the top 300. Well,
shut up,
Ox
dude.
as well. Ox and Mubi.
Yeah, OX, but OX being up is kind of a psyop, I think, because look at this chart. This is a 4-hour chart.
No liquidity.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. What was that?
CFX, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
And don't forget Corgi AI, the best performer.
Dude, I would never forget Corgi AI. I don't know what you take me for.
And dude, Pocket is number 4. Best performer in 24 hours.
Pocket rules, dude. Let's just all in Pocket. Let's liquidate all of our bags down to cash and all in Pocket.
Let's do it. That would literally pump it and confirm our bias.
Dude, now you're thinking. You got your thinking cap on. Yeah, I don't know. It does seem well and truly over, but the back of my mind, I'm just saying bounce, bounce, bounce.
If you want to sell all the crypto in existence, you still need RPC nodes.
That's so true. Wow, dude.
Like they need
really
to
smart,
be functioning. They need to be working right.
Is this the bounce? This is the biggest. This is the most green we've seen in a while.
Yeah, in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
This is the leverage kicker said this is the most bottom signal stream ever. And then RT said 32K is a buy. Dude, why don't they want us to have fun is the thing.
Hey, does it count if it's a bottom signal if I'm not selling?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm not selling either. You can come liquidate me, Chief.
Yeah.
Please don't, though. Please stop dumping.
No.
Jibbles just said, knew this dump was coming. Luckily, I front ran it by buying pre.
Freeze probably at 0.
Front running the dump. Very skill.
Damn. We should have known when we saw the market's strongest asset puke like this that today would end poorly.
Boys, I'm logging. I'm out of here.
All right, friend. Well,
have a nice rest of your day.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow when the market no longer exists.
It's 10 p.m. Yeah.
Have a good night, sir.
Have a good night then.
Cool, guys. Take it easy. See you.
All right, JC.
Yeah.
You want to call it here?
Anything else fun to say? I'm trying to think.
Buy Kex, buy Lads.
Yeah, sure. Pocket is going up. The fuck, it's going up. Like,
whoa,
it's,
what?
It's a bit.
Jedi's the bad luck guy.
All right.
All right, yeah. We'll see you guys next week. I don't know what we'll talk about because obviously everything will be over, but we'll see you then.
It won't be crypto anymore.
Bye-bye.